had been a regular Friday afternoon. Business had been real slow recently. There hadn't been a case since the Great Bookkeeper. That was an interesting one. Turns out Mayor Leonard had been enraptured with a biography he accidentally took. The case was open and shut, like a book. It had been around 8 weeks since that, but crime never stops. It only takes a rest. I just finished my lunch, a delicious tuna fish sandwich made by my lovely wife Jan, and awaited for prospective clients when I got the call. Dan Finnigan. Good afternoon, Mayor Leonard. A missing persons report. Of course. I'm on my way. The case was big. Probably the biggest I've ever had. The mayor sounded distressed, so I knew it was urgent. I packed up my bag and headed straight over.
They can't find her. There you are. I must thank you for coming on such short notice, Mr. Finnigan.
No problem, sir. What seems to be the trouble?
It's my secretary, sir. Jane.
The little white rabbit?
Oh, you know her.
Yeah. She and my wife talk all the time.
Oh, well, you see, Dan, she didn't show up to work today, which isn't like her at all.
Did you try calling her house?
Yes, and her grandmother said she left for work this morning.
Interesting. Does she have a regular work desk?
Oh, yes. Here, let me show you. Right this way. What?
I was just thinking.
About what, Mr. Finnigan? Sir, I don't mean to interrupt your process, but I fail to see how looking at Jane's desk will help her find her.
I'm looking for patterns.
What?
Sequences of similar actions or events. You know, she goes to lunch at this time every day, or every 3 hours she takes a bathroom break. If I can find patterns in her daily habits, we might be able to predict where she's going next, or find clues on how to find her.
Oh, I see.
Take this desk, for example. What's one thing that pops up more than anything else?
Let's see. There's 2 books, a notepad, a laptop, a pen.
Sticky notes. There are 7 sticky notes all around this desk, and all of them with different locations and times written on them.
Yes, well, that's how Jane reminds me when she's going on her lunch break, or picking up a book I ask her to get. You see, she just leaves me with a little note to remind her where she is. But she always tells me first, and all of those are from the past few weeks. None of them are from today.
If we can just sort out where she went through all the weeks, there might be a pattern. We could indicate where she'd go today.
Let's see. One of the notes say Jane will be at lunch from 12 to 1. 3 of the notes say Jane will be at Elton's from 2 to 2:30 on Friday. 2 of the notes say Jane will be at the library from 2:30 to 3, and on Friday on Tuesday. And one of the notes says she'll be giving mail to Melvin from 3 to 3:15 on Friday.
So it sounds like one thing that she'll do most regularly on Friday is go to Elton's barbershop from 2 to 2:30. That is why we'll start my search.
I didn't realize Jane got so many haircuts.
Well, she is a Hare.
Yes, well, do keep me posted on this case, please.
Will do, Mr. Mayor. The case was shaping up to be a doozy, but luckily this rabbit has some pretty predictable actions. I grabbed all the evidence I could, and I found my way back to Mr. Elton's barbershop. With any luck, he would have this hair for me. Elton Eagleton, I have a few questions for you.
Daniel Finnigan, what brings you here? Did your wife finally convince you to get rid of that horrible scrap under your chin?
No, I'm here on a case.
Oh, what a shame. It would do your face wonders. Take off 20 years or so.
Listen, Elton, you wouldn't have happened to see that Miss Jane Hare today, have you?
Oh, little Janie Bunny? No, I can't say I have seen her today. She usually comes in on Fridays, but yesterday she rescheduled her appointment to Monday.
Interesting. Do you have any more information on her whereabouts?
No, I can't say I do. The past couple weeks after her haircut, she's headed next door to the library.
Thank you, Elton. You've been very helpful.
No problem, Daniel. Now, if you'll excuse me, I had to prepare for my next client.
Yes, of course. The patterns just kept showing up, but none of them can lead me back to this rabbit. Maybe I was going about this all wrong. Maybe the patterns would lead me to this rabbit weren't in her actions, but in her very species. A bear
might hold this bunny's whereabouts.
Fascinating. Crepuscular. That is a fun word. Good afternoon, Walt. Ah, yes, Dan! What can I help you with? Have you finished that novel on Humphrey Bogart already? No, well, listen, actually, Walter, have you seen a Miss Jane Hare? Oh, Jane? No! Last I saw her, it was this past Tuesday. She was picking up a book on how to promote a good political climate for Mayor Leonard. Well, she didn't show up for work today, and Mayor Leonard's worried sick. Do you have any information on rabbits that might be useful to my investigation? If I can find out any common traits of the species, I might be able to tie down where she is. You couldn't have asked for a better time. I was just reading a book on tracking the genealogy of the rabbit family all the way back to the first introduction into Snowden. And it mentions several common traits of their species, including, but not limited to, their crepuscular nature. As fascinating as that is, Walter, I don't think being prone to heart disease is going to help in my investigation. No, not cardiovascular, crepuscular! It means that she is very active in the twilight. In other words, she is most awake at dawn and dusk. Interesting. Rabbits also have the capability of running at top speeds of 40 miles per hour, and snow hares, her particular breed, enjoy rocky tundra areas. So from your information, I might be able to find her around sunset, near the outskirts for an evening jog. Perhaps, if I were you, I might talk to Melvin. He lives the closest to the outskirts, so if he hasn't seen her, you might be able to camp out there for an evening to keep watch. Walter, you're brilliant. You have been a great deal of help. Thank you. Oh, no problem, Dan. It's getting close to closing time, so I must go help Noelle with closing preparations. Of course. The trail was heating up, but I knew better than to jump to conclusions when rabbits were involved. My next stop was Melvin's house. If I was lucky, he'd be willing to let me set up a stakeout outside his house.
Well, howdy ho, Dan. I came by your office with mail there today, but nobody seemed to be there. So I just slid right underneath the door. I hope you don't mind.
Not at all, Melvin. Not at all.
What brings you all the way out here to my place?
Well, I'm looking for a rabbit by the name of Jane Hare. You wouldn't happen to seen her, have you?
I can't rightly say I have. No, not today, sir, no.
All evidence points to her coming right by your doorstep later this evening.
Well, goodness gracious. Why do you say that?
It's the next logical step in her nightly routine.
Well, she does have a tendency to take nightly strolls on the edge of the outskirts every once in a while.
Would you be alright if I sat outside your door to create a stakeout and watch for her?
I reckon you'd be fine to do that. I was just on my way from my nightly routine of hot chocolate and Shakespeare. Let me know if you would like any.
No thank you, Melvin. Don't let me disturb you. I'll just be out here watching.
Oh, alrighty then. Just let me know if you need anything.
Watching. And waiting. All the evidence has led me to this moment. The second in time. The calm before the storm. As I sat there waiting, questions rushed through my head. Where had Miss Jane Hare been out all day? Why didn't she tell the mayor that she wouldn't be in? Was she alone? Who was she with? And as I sat there pondering these thoughts, as I awaited my long expected answer, an answer that would... Hello? Dan Finnigan, P.I. Oh, hi, honey. How was your day? Jane, what do you mean she just left? Wait, she's been with you all day? Well, where is she now? Listen, sweetheart, I'm gonna have to call you back, okay? I'll see you home for dinner. Yeah, I love you too. She sent us on a wild goose chase, except the geese had nothing to do with it. Now is the time for my answers. I just had to call Leonard and meet her at her house.
I know you say you didn't want any hot chocolate, but I thought I'd go ahead and make you some. Dan? Dan? Ah, you must have found her. Oh well, more hot chocolate for me. Henry V, here I come.
What was she doing all day if she was with your wife? And why wouldn't she just tell me? If she just wanted the day off, I would have given it to her.
These are all questions we will have to ask her. We will get your answers, sir. I promise.
Oh, there you are, Jane. I was worried sick. What happened to you?
Oh, good evening, sir. I thought you knew.
Knew what exactly?
Good evening, Miss Hare. Name's Detective Dan Finnigan. I've been looking for you all day.
Oh, you're Jan's husband. Pleased to meet you.
Now, Jane, your absence has put me in such a tizzy. No work has gotten done all day today. What was the meaning of this?
I'm sorry, Mayor Leonard. Sir, I left you a note.
What note?
Yesterday. I left a note on my desk saying that I'd be gone all day today because I was shadowing Jan Finnigan, the journalist. She's looking for an assistant, and I thought it would be a really good break for me to get into the world of journalism.
I don't mean to intrude, ma'am, but I searched your desk, and there didn't seem to be any such note.
Well, I was almost certain I stuck it on the right top of my computer. Maybe it was... Oh, here it is. I guess I forgot.
Jane, I understand if you want to go into the, shadow other positions. Just please tell me before I send the whole town on the wild goose chase to find you.
I'm terribly sorry, sir. I guess I should have communicated better. You were busy when I left yesterday, and I didn't want to interrupt, so I thought a note would be sufficient, but I guess I forgot to leave it.
I would have remembered if you just told me. I wouldn't have been so upset if you were interrupted.
A lot of concern and strife have been avoided if we could just communicate our thoughts and feelings more effectively.
I know, Mr. Finnigan. I truly am terribly sorry, Mayor Leonard. Can you ever forgive me?
Why, of course, Jane.
Would you like to come to dinner? It's the least I can do after the stress I've put you through.
I would love to.
How about you, Mr. Finnigan?
Thanks, but no thanks. I promised my wife I'd be back before it's too late.
All right, have a nice night.
Good night, Mr. Finnigan.
Good night, Jane. Good night, Mr. Mayor. Another case closed and another day gone. As the sun sets, I think of how the world could be a better place if we just communicated and spoke to one another. I walk home excited for a night with my wife and a delicious meal. Tomorrow brings more cases because crime never stops. It just rests for a while.